Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales from the Fog. I'm your host, Casey, and with me is the amazing and wonderful patron saint of Dachshunds, Veronica.
Hey, everybody.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Patron saint of Dachshunds.
Yeah.
I think I need a t-shirt. Speaking of Dachshunds, we got to hang out with another Dachshund at the dog park today.
Yep, the first one we've seen at our local dog park.
It was the first one. Actually, there were two firsts. There was the first Dachshund-esque animal, which was the Chiweenie.
Yes.
And we thought that would be the highlight of the day. Little did we know that a half hour later, an actual Dachshund would show up.
A fluffy one.
A little long-haired brindle. Oh, so cute. Anyway, the show's not about Dachshunds, is it?
It could be.
Can we start a Dachshund podcast?
Pawdcast.
Oh my god! Done and done. You heard it here first.
So how about some fun news, maybe?
Well, a lot has happened since we recorded last. So
yeah,
there's a lot to talk about.
So I guess we can start with Midsummer Scream.
We can.
Tickets are on sale. You can get the event this year is moving months. So this year the event is August 3rd and 4th, 2019. At the Long Beach Convention Center, of course.
The Long Beach Convention Center.
And tickets are on sale. And if there's a special code at midsummerscream.org, which is MSSPRE, and you can get 40% off your ticket prices. But tickets are, as always, very reasonably priced. Saturday's $38, Sunday's $33. If you want the weekend, it's $55.
Is that the pre-sale price?
No, that's the general price.
Really?
Yeah.
That is reasonably priced.
And then the Gold Bat Pass is a weekend pass. It's $95.
Neat.
And you get all kinds of fun stuff like front of the line, priority access to panels, front of the line to haunts in the Hall of Shadows, access to the party on Saturday night.
Are the Gold Bat Passes still available?
Yes, they are still available. I don't know how many they sell.
I don't think they sell too many.
It can't be
takes away
a
from
lot,
them.
but yeah. They're still available currently, and you can get them for 40% off. So there you go.
That's great. And once Midsummer Scream starts announcing more juicy stuff that they can talk about, we will have Rick West come back to the podcast.
Yeah, they did announce their first thing.
What did they announce?
Bill Mosley is going to be signing autographs all weekend. I believe they said it was at the Dark Delicacies booth.
Guys, I have to announce that I'm not going to be performing with the Decade Brigade this year because I'm going to be hanging out with Bill Mosley. So sorry. Why don't I get this information? We're part of the same community. And this stuff does not show up in my newsfeed.
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that it reaches you, because at least it's getting to somebody.
Yeah.
That was genuine news to me, and I am so excited.
Really?
Yes.
That came out, oh God, it has to be a week now that that's been out, that info.
My algorithm is just...
Dachshunds.
Well, yeah. I am very current on the Dachshund happenings around the globe. Things are great in that community.
As they should be.
Yeah. Anything else for A Midsummer Scream?
I don't believe anything has been announced. Other than that, and the tickets are on sale.
I know that people are buying their tickets already.
Yes.
Because they realize that if you wait, that discount goes by in a flash. And then the only thing that's left is the Gold Pass, and then even that disappears so quickly. And then you're left having to pay full price at the door. When you could avoid all of that nonsense, you know you're going to go. So you have your reasons and you have your orders. So go get your tickets now while they're cheap and while they're available. That is my wish to you.
What is your wish to see at Midsummer Scream?
Bill Mosley.
I think that, okay, well, that's done. Boom. Midsummer Scream is over. All it's going to be is Bill Mosley in Hall A in a chair, and that's it.
That's truly all I need. He just gives off this aura of, fuck you, I'm awesome. Let's take a picture together. Truly.
That'd be $50.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I was in a music video with Bill Mosley?
No, you did not.
I
don't believe you told our wonderful podcast listeners that.
I had a brush with celebrity a long time ago there was, they still exist, but there's this band called Christ.
Yes.
And they're this heavy electro metal. I have to imagine if you're a fan of the haunted community, you've heard of them.
If you're a fan of Not Scary Farm, you
have
in the
heard
maze.
of them, absolutely, in several different places.
Yes.
But they were shooting a music video called Sent to Destroy, and it was out of this tiny little warehouse space in Burbank. And a friend of mine hooked me up with the casting director for that music video shoot. And so if you've ever seen that video, you'll notice a very familiar face in the intro and kind of peppered throughout that music video, and it is our very own Bill Mosley.
Yes.
Playing the part. I forget what his official character name is. I think it might be like the leader or the whatever. He's like the one telling you that, you know, you need to buy this product and you need to conform. And this whole idea is, you know, that the people in Comic Christ were sent to Earth to destroy that whole, you know,
Destroy the man.
Destroy the man, bring the man down, which is all that Electro talks about, basically.
Yeah.
That and How Dare You Break My Heart. It's like country western music, but with a lot of computers involved. Heavy, heavy drums. But we got to spend several hours together in between takes and shoots and things, and he showed me a picture of his sweet little bird, and that's not a euphemism. He actually had a bird that he showed me a picture of on his phone, and he was quite pleasant and very funny and quick and just charming as all hell, and I was really grateful to have spent the time that I spent with him.
Now, do you feel that Bill Mosley would be a dachshund person?
Yes. I do.
All right.
Because, I mean, we find so many dachshund people to be in the entertainment world.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they have that need to be different, that need to express themselves. They're a little bit on the stubborn side. You know, they're kind of just odd. And dachshunds are very much like that. They need to be performing. They need to please you. They need to be, like, accepted. They want you to love them so much. Mm-hmm. And they're also very protective. And I think that those traits match a lot of people that are drawn to the entertainment world in whatever fashion, you know, are drawn to these animals.
Yeah. Pretty much if you look up a celebrity and go to Google Images, chances are you will probably find them with a dachshund.
Kevin Smith, Chucky.
Ellen
has her dachshund, and they've got a line at PetSmart. Maybe both. Ralph Garman has Reggie the Wonder Dog.
Yep.
There's Gray Delisle had two. Now she has one. One of them passed on.
God, I can't think of his name. Really famous director.
All of them?
Woody Harrelson?
Woody Allen?
Woody Allen. There you go. He had a dachshund.
And, I mean, so many of them. I didn't come prepared with the list. Stay tuned and I'll have one for you. But there's a lot of people in the entertainment world who have weenie dogs.
Welcome to the Pawdcast.
So yeah, I do think that Bill Mosley, you know, barring anything medical, like he's allergic or genuinely hates dogs, which would be weird, but you never know.
Well, just so you know, short-haired dachshunds are hypoallergenic.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Very good. How are they hypoallergenic?
They don't get the dandruff that causes allergies.
Really? Even though they shed all over the place? Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's one excuse.
Because when I was a kid, my mom is severely allergic to dogs and cats and things. And the doctor was basically, you can have a dachshund or you can have a poodle. And we said dachshund.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's why we ended up with the dachshund.
That's a stupid question. Because
we're like, we don't want a poodle. Come on. No one wants a poodle.
No one wants a poodle. Why would you? I mean, I love all animals. I truly. Every creature on this planet. But poodles are one of those ones that I'll tolerate.
Yeah. Well, the Labradoodle was invented specifically because the Prime Minister of Australia wanted a dog and didn't want a poodle. And so they purposely bred a poodle with a Labrador in order to create a hunting dog, which was hypoallergenic.
Oh my God. I guess we did the same thing with the dachshund. We invented it to fit our needs. Yeah. Wow. So
it was designed and gifted to the Prime Minister of Australia. So that she could have her hunting dog. But it was hypoallergenic. She would be sick.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, they should have just given her a dachshund.
Could have. But
Save
they
everybody
were German,
the trouble.
And, back then, I think people were anti-dachshund.
Yeah, there was a time where even in the state, I mean, not just even in the States, but I mean, all over the place, anything German was looked through a different lens.
Yeah. So let's move on to more fun news items.
Tell me.
Today, in fact, the day we are recording this podcast, so whenever you're listening to it, it was in the past, but it is current as we speak.
You mean we're not sending this out in real time?
No. We could. People have actually asked us to do this on Facebook Live. And I told them we don't have a set yet. So we kind of need to work on that.
I mean, we have, I guess, you don't want to see our house. Guys, it's not what you think. Let your mind fill in what you think we're recording in and let that exist for a bit. We'll come up with something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, there's going to be a reboot of Child's Play, and the lovely and wonderful Mark Hamill is going to be playing the voice of Chucky.
So that's a bomb drop right there, right?
Yeah.
Like, it could have been... Well, see, what's great about this is he's a celebrity, and he's a genuinely phenomenal voice actor.
Yeah, and this isn't just a sequel. It's a full, complete reboot.
So this is the one where he's AI. Is that right?
Yeah, so the story of this is, let me get it really. This time around, Buddy is an artificial, intelligent human companion manufactured by the Caslan Corp, the world-leading developer of interactive tech toys for home and lifestyle, aka Google. When Karen, a single mother, gifts one of the state-of-the-art toys to her son, playtime takes a terrifying turn.
Why is it always a single mom? Like, only single moms buy toys that will slaughter their children.
Well, we're now very much in the era of the strong female lead.
Well, how come it couldn't have been a single dad?
And, well, dad would not be a single female lead. So maybe if he was a transgendered dad, that would be interesting. That would be a show.
We could go there, I guess. But my point is, in the original version, it was a single mom, wasn't it? Wasn't it the mom who bought the toy for the kid?
Yeah.
So then, like, I feel like it's more, like, not the strong mom doing an awesome thing for their kid, but the dumbass who bought a murdering toy.
The original one was she didn't want to... It was a very 80s thing of the parents not wanting to deal with the kids. So here's a toy, shut up, go away.
Well, they had Coke parties to go to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There was stuff to do.
There's so many
All
lines to do. Yeah, so I'm going to guess that this doesn't have that vibe. Like, she'll probably have more, more, what do they call that? Not authority.
I think she's going to have a very nice job. Maybe she'll be a CEO of a company. Maybe Possibly. She's a busy woman.
Well, then that trope could still play that she doesn't have time to parent her child, so she gets an AI companion.
Exactly.
But see, then that's weird too. This doesn't look good either way. Anyway, I genuinely don't care about those kinds of tropes, but I know that that's a talk that's happening.
I'm interested to see how this plays out because the original Child's Play is kind of corny.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if they update it and make it... I mean, it's going to be an R-rated film. Mm-hmm. But I'm interested to see if he's still going to do those corny lines and stuff or if they're going to take a much more realistic, demonic doll situation.
Is it going to look the same?
I don't know. I don't know if they've released any art or... I know there's not a trailer out yet, but...
Are you sure?
I haven't seen any art.
I thought there was a trailer out.
Was there one?
Yeah.
Well.
But I don't remember hearing the voice, or if I did, I didn't piece it together. But when Mark Hamill voices Skips in regular show, he has that kind of gruff to it, and it does sound kind of like how the original Chucky sounded. Yeah. So it's not a far leap in my brain to connect the two.
But I think they're going to go for a different style of voice. I think, if they're rebooting it and it's supposed to be like this artificially intelligent, I can assume like the cadence and stuff is going to be a little different because it's not just somebody that recorded voices on a recorder and whatever. This is like
Like asking, okay, Google.
Yeah, I think there's going to be like a robotic cadence to it and stuff. I don't know.
Do you think so? I think that that's an artistic choice.
Maybe.
I think that you can retain that grittiness, or because Chucky's original voice, wasn't it a kid's voice when it spoke the way that it was supposed to, and then it got that weird gruffy creepy thing
true.
when it did the flip. So maybe it is a sweet, the words that are spoken by the AI are nice and smooth and connected, and it sounds like an actual person. But then when it turns into real Chucky, then it turns into Mark Hamill with Skips doing that gruffy thing.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. I really feel like I've seen...
I haven't seen a trailer yet. So
I think I have seen a trailer for
maybe
it. But
my algorithms are messed up.
maybe. It knows that I hate Child's Play. And it's like, you know what you should watch? You should watch this.
Yeah.
I think it was it might have been an ad before watching something on YouTube or something. It was something where I didn't feel like I had a lot of control over if I got to see it or not. Anyway, that is super cool. I'm glad to see, even though he was a film actor first, he's a voice actor now. To see a genuine voice actor doing a feature film that millions and millions of people are going to see.
Well, like Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I guess he is doing Star Wars now.
He's also in the TV show Nightfall.
All right, he's on camera too. Jesus. Sorry. God. Anyway, I do adore Mark Hamill, but I gravitate more towards voice actors and their work anyway. Yeah. So even though he was Luke Skywalker and is still, I guess, I still think of him as a voice actor.
Okay.
All right. It doesn't change anything on this planet.
No.
Any other news?
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? Boysenberry Festival started this weekend?
I think it was this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So boysenberry and stuff.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard anything about the weird kind of foods they're going to
have? There is a boysenberry... I want to say a boysenberry lasagna?
What?
I can't remember. There's a list online of all the different foods.
This is worth knowing.
I will Google it.
Google it, baby. In case this makes it into the podcast, that sound, is a visual cue while we're recording or we're editing in Audacity so that you can visually see where you're going to cut the audio file. And like if you need to cut something out, like this whole segment may stay in, it may not. We don't know. But when the editor's going through, they see those big ticks on the line and they'll know that from this point to this point, they need to cut it. So now you know.
Okay, are you ready for your boysenberry items?
Tell me everything.
All right, I got the official list from knott'sberryfarm.com.
Oh, baby.
Spur's Chop House. It's going to have boysenberry glazed chicken shawarma.
Shawarma?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Boysenberry cheesecake on a stick.
I'm in.
Boysenberry glazed salmon over mixed greens topped with boysenberry vinaigrette.
No, thank you.
Boysenberry pot roast over boysenberry mashed potatoes.
Maybe. That makes me gassy just thinking about it.
Boysenberry jerk chicken wings. Maybe.
Giggity.
That could be good. Wine and beer. Of course, they're having the boysenberry beer.
Of course.
Boysenberry wine, along with assorted wines.
Sure. Ghost
Town Grill is going to have the Berry Beast. Doesn't say what it is.
Okay.
The Walter Knott iced tea and berry punch.
Ooh.
Mixed together.
That sounds good.
Boysenberry margaritas. Boysenberry ice cream and boysenberry pie.
Yum.
All right. Wilderness Dance Hall stand is going to have boysenberry chili and a boysenberry sourdough bowl.
Oh, you want to hear something fun?
Yes.
Galosso's Bakery, the bakery that I do accounting for, was in the running to produce those bowls.
But they already delivered bread to them and they lost the thing to produce the bowls?
Because it's a very specific end result that they want. And so what they do is they kind of like have every bakery that they work with bid on like coming up with their own recipe and the colors and the production and everything.
Yeah.
And the flavors. And they produce their sample. And Galosso's did not make it They weren't chosen to be the ones to produce those bowls, but we produce sourdough bread bowls for other companies like Claim Jumper and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we already deliver bread to Knott's Berry Farm, but we did not get that job to make the boysenberry.
That's a bummer because I would have wanted you to steal some for me.
Those were hard to find. The sourdough bread bowls are hard to find.
Yeah.
And we make them, although it's not really the season anymore, but when it's fall to winter, we make a lot more bread bowls.
Yeah.
To send to Claim Jumper.
All right. Boysenberry sausage on a bun.
Mmm.
Sounds like fun on a bun. Let's see. Ghost Town Bakery is going to have assorted boysenberry baked goods. Boysenberry shaped sugar cookies. Boysenberry macaroons. Boysenberry key lime tart. Boysenberry cinnamon sugar flour tortilla chips with boysenberry ice cream.
Oh my god.
Boysenberry waffle with maple boysenberry cream cheese syrup.
Say that again?
It's a boysenberry waffle.
Okay.
With maple boysenberry cream cheese syrup.
Oh.
And that is available on the tasting card.
Oh my god.
Calico Saloon is going to have, obviously, boysenberry beer and wine.
Sure.
But they also have a new thing called Calico Soda this year.
Calico Soda?
And it comes in a mason jar souvenir cup.
Is it alcoholic?
Nope. It's soda.
Huh. Is it boysenberry with bubbles in it?
I don't know.
It's just... It's just
called Calico Soda.
Oh.
I know someone posted something about it, but... Anyway, Ghost Town Grub is going to have the boysenberry fun bun. And the boysenberry fun stick. You know what those are, right? Have you seen those? The fun buns?
Stop saying fun bun.
You want a fun bun? Do you prefer your bun on a stick?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Think of like the most delicious fair food. Obviously, it's like fried and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, look it up on your phone. You'll see a picture of it. Just look. All you have to do is Knott's Boysenberry Fun Bun. You'll see what it is.
Knott's.
All right, Ghost Town Bank Stand is going to have the Boysenberry Elote. Also available at the tasting card. Let's see. Wagon Wheel Pizza is going to have boysenberry habanero mac and cheese.
Oh, that sounds
boysenberry good. Pulled pork tostada and boysenberry jambalaya.
That sounds... Oh my god! It's like a cinnamon roll, but with boysenberry goo on top.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Sutter's Grill is going to have boysenberry pulled pork fries and alligator fries. Sutter Food Stand is going to have boysenberry barbecue chicken skewers with boysenberry aioli. Boysenberry and lemon hummus with pita bread. Oh. Boysenberry dry rub flank steak with the boysenberry cream cheese topping.
Oh.
The Coffee Hut's going to have boysenberry boba, boysenberry lattes, boysenberry hot and shaken teas, boysenberry shaped sugar cookies, macaroons, key lime tarts, etc. Boysenberry corn dog, boysenberry popcorn chicken.
Ooh.
Coaster's going to have a boysenberry western barbecue burger and a boysenberry pie milkshake.
Do they have do they actually bottle the boysenberry barbecue sauce?
Yeah, you can buy it. I don't remember where you can buy it. But
Maybe the general store?
Maybe, yeah. Boysenberry meatball sandwich. There's so much food this year, man. Boysenberry cornbread. Mm-hmm. Boysenberry meatball sandwich. Boysenberry barbecue cheddar pizza. Dole Whip float with boysenberry and pineapple juice.
Oh my god.
Boysenberry and lemon funnel cakes. Boysenberry stuffed churros.
Does the boysenberry and lemon together make a good combination?
I would think so.
They're both kind of tart.
But lemon, they usually make sweet.
Mm-hmm. But the boysenberry isn't it like kind of on the bitter side?
Boysenberry icy stuff. Boysenberry cookie witches. Boysenberry basil lemonade. Build your own boysenberry pie. Boysenberry chicken fries. Boysenberry 2-foot-long hot dog.
Why?
And boysenberry cotton candy.
I'm in on the cotton candy.
And a boysenberry butter grilled cheese with boysenberry jam sandwich.
Jesus.
So there you go. That's just part of the menu because there's other stuff that...
I feel like I need to get checked for heart disease just listening to the menu. That was a lot. Man, they've been busy.
Yeah. It's Be fun.
All right, well, there's 58 reasons to go to Knott's Berry Farm in the next couple of weeks.
And the problem is a tasting card is $35, but you only get 8 tastings. And there's obviously like a million things. So how many tasting cards? Not all of it's available on the tasting card, though. So
what's a tasting card? Are you limited to what you can choose? Or is it like if this card is for the elotes, this card is for this?
So you just get eight like punch holes, basically. And you can go to whatever stand, and it'll say what stuff is available on the tasting card. And then you can pick what you want.
So what is it? It's 8 cards for how much? $36?
$35.
So how much is that each?
It's like 5-ish, little less than 5.
It's like 4 something.
Yeah.
So depending on what you get, like they're not going to give you anything that's going to be majorly, like they're not going to give you a $15 plate on that card, would they?
No.
Like would it benefit?
But the tasting sizes are good. Like they're not like tiny little things.
Oh, I see.
They're a decent sized portion.
Oh, and it's just, yeah. I guess I was thinking like they're going to hand you a whole plate of ribs, for one ticket.
No.
I don't know why I thought that.
Like if you did the ribs, you get like 2 maybe. But.
So could you eat to your heart's content and feel like full and like you really got a taste of the rainbow with the tasting card, with that card? Or do you need to get a couple?
I think if you were with a bunch of people, like let's say me and you went and we each got a tasting card and then we could sample 16 things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be better because then you have a better chance of trying more stuff. I think with just the 8, you'd really have to like pick and choose.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to.
Because you're like, I want to try dessert. I want to try a main course thing. I want to try, some of these fun little things.
They really get you, though, because if you have a tasting of something and you love it, you're going to buy the whole damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they want you to get your grubby little fingers into everything.
Yeah.
Very clever. It's very nice. It sounds delicious. And I'm not a huge boysenberry fan, but for this, like, I'll pretend that I've been a fan my whole life just to try all the different weird things that have to do with boysenberry.
Well, speaking of boysenberry, Yogurtland has their boysenberry yogurt, which is awesome. And if you haven't gone and gotten it, I highly suggest it with Oreo cookies.
Yeah, that was a really good combo.
Yeah. I did the boysenberry shortbread cookies the first time, which were good, but the little boysenberry jelly centers, just like a gummy bear or anything, gets really hard when it gets cold.
Yeah.
To the point where it's like really tough to chew it. So if that's a texture you like, go for it. But I was way digging into the Oreos better. I thought it was way better.
Like boysenberry flavored artificial cartilage.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
If you like gristle.
Gristle. Boysenberry gristle.
Yeah.
I'm getting that with my tasting card.
Yeah.
I love this time of year because then it's like kind of the springboard into the summertime. It's when...
And this is... Haunt Build has already started, so there you go.
Apparently they've been in Haunt Build since Haunt last year. Like they just utilize their time year round.
Yeah.
And I guess, why not? You've got the staff. You've got the money. If you can allot the hours to it, then go ahead. If it's backstage and no one cares, whether it's there or not.
Yeah.
I would front load that as much as possible.
Speaking of, though, have you heard about this rumor? That's sort of a rumor, but sort of not a rumor.
Are you trying to get me to be like manipulated, like from the Umbrella Academy?
No.
Like I heard a rumor?
No.
Are you sure?
But that is good.
Thank you.
No,
what are you talking about?
So there are permits that have been found for Knott's Berry Farm to expand Ghost Town for its 100th anniversary.
Oh.
And that would expand it back to basically where Haunt is, where the Haunt buildings are.
Yeah.
Like past Ghost Rider. And then it would go around and then it would enter back into the park near the birdcage and like where Warehouse P is and that area.
So like Crow's Nest and all the accounting offices would all...
The company store for employees, like all that stuff.
Oh, even that far south?
I believe so, yeah.
What about like Warehouse P?
That would be gone.
So even behind
I pretty much any backstage stuff I'm assuming is going to go. So basically what the thing is that all that stuff's going to move across the street.
To Western, where Western Lot is?
I think so. And then, but there's rumors that they're going to take out the haunt buildings too.
Wow. I mean, they've got to have an alternative, like maybe building. They really need to get some parking structures going on. They need a parking structure over where what's it called? Not the Liberty.
Soak City?
Yeah, but that's not what the building I was talking about wasn't Soak City.
Independence Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the parking lot that's over there, that should have been a parking structure.
Like years
decades ago.
Yeah.
And then as far as the Western Lot goes, that could also be a parking structure. And
they could put all that infrastructure back there and a parking structure next to it, right up against the road.
Yeah.
For the employees.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, build up. I mean, save some space. Use that footprint for something that you can make money on.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, all that expanse it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Especially that parking lot over by Soak City. Could you imagine if there was a parking structure over there?
Oh, it'd be so much better.
Everybody would park closer.
Yeah.
It'd be beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And they can expand Soak City if they want to work on that shit show.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the idea of expanding the footprint is kind of hilarious to me because the theme park has had so much built around it since it first started that it seems comical that there's even anywhere to go. But truth is, there is some place to go.
Yeah.
There's been vacant space there this whole time, but it's been, technically in use. But, I mean, from a business standpoint, the more square footage that you put in your park, the more people you can shove in there and the more money you can make.
Yep.
So it makes sense that they would utilize that space. And I know that, like, during Scary Farm, they opened up that back area to get because now those, the basically permanent mazes are in those buildings and everything. They were able to expand the footprint and put in a lot more people. But it was kind of like anticlimactic because it was just lines. Yeah. You go back there to wait in line. 1 year or 2 years, you got to go back there and watch a belly dance show. But that was like the most exciting thing that would happen, aside from when you finally get to go into a maze. And that's only that one time a year. Mm-hmm. The rest of the year, it's just, a place where things are built and kept.
And then the other rumor is they're finally going to get their Giga Coaster, which would leave from back there behind Ghost Town somewhere. And then I assume probably go across the street like Ghost Rider does.
Probably, but they're far enough away from those neighbors who bitched about it the first time.
Yeah.
So that they can probably clear it as far as noise goes.
Yeah.
I know that was a big deal. Wasn't what's the Pony one? Pony Express? Mm-hmm. That thing was supposed to go all over the park.
Yeah.
And
well, not all over the park, but all over like Bigfoot Rapids and stuff. Like it was supposed to have a much bigger layout, yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't because the neighbors there bitched that it was too noisy.
Yeah.
But if you move it inland, so to speak, put it in that quiet area over like not Warehouse P, but it's
I don't know exactly.
Between Warehouse P and and the roller coaster would be a good place for it. So then that's a lot of facility that you have to relocate. All of the office buildings, all the finance buildings, they might be able to hide them somewhere in the park.
Yeah.
Like you've got the entertainment offices are hidden inside the park. But even that, like, there's not a lot of vacant space in there.
No.
I wonder if they would end up being part of whatever they build across the street.
Probably. I mean, I'm sure they'll build more than one. Like, Warehouse P is giant, so they're going to have to build a huge warehouse.
And then you've got, I mean, depending on how far it goes,
like, my guess is maybe if they are going to put a roller coaster in, they might just utilize Warehouse P as the station. Like, it's big enough.
It is.
That they could build inside it.
And then what about the shop that's on the other side? Like, the shop is between Warehouse P and Western, basically.
Yeah.
Like, would that stay the same?
I don't know.
I mean, everything could end up being uprooted.
Yeah. It's a massive plan. Is it? It's still just a rumor, though. But
I think it's a solid investment. But if they do that, and they make it so that they can fit 100,000 people, or however the fuck can fit in there, they need to build a parking structure. Because people are parking, like, a half a mile away. after paying $30 to get in there, just to park their car. It's asinine to say, like, oh yeah, we can have all these extra people now come visit our stuff. Oh, but you have to park in the next county.
Yeah.
That you have to have one with the other. So, what else do you have? Is that all for news?
Well, we haven't gotten to talk about it. It happened a while ago, but Haunt X.
Oh, yes. So that happened back, it was like February 23rd or 24th or something.
Yeah.
Was it really that long ago?
It was a long time ago.
Oh my God.
We're almost in April.
Wow. Okay, so Haunt X was this cool little, like, trade show thing. Not quite a convention. What did we decide it was called?
I said a conference.
Okay, yeah, conference. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But it was, so it's under...
It's all about the panels and classes and things like that. It's not so much about announcements and merchandise and all that kind of stuff. It's all about learning how to do haunted stuff.
Yeah, so Haunt X is basically like, it's for home haunters by home haunters. It's like how to do the most with the few resources that you have as a home haunter. Like, it's your own budget and you're probably not sponsored by too many people, like stuff that you can do on the cheap and then still do it really well. So they had guest panelists come in and, you know, instructors and things like that. It's kind of like Cal Haunts in a conference form where they had classes going all day long. So the Decade Brigade's role in all of that is we taught classes also. We did equipment, like what is the best equipment to use as a home haunt slider, and then hands-on stuff like how to quickly like hit the ground and pop up, and you know, stuff that a home haunter could actually use in that setting, because like a lot of people see Decade Brigade and they think long runway, big elaborate jumps, all this stunt sliding. But you can't do that at a home haunt because you probably have 10 feet of sidewalk and the ground sucks and you're surrounded by a bunch of people. So it's like not practical to have that kind of show. So we morphed what we do and done more training, like how to slide safely, how to get the right equipment, how to, you know, be quick and use your space properly and all that kind of stuff. So that was our presence there. And we sold merch and did really well. And we got to meet fans and all that cool stuff. So, but because it was its first year and it was really small, there was no sound barrier between the panels and the classes and us, and we're loud. Yeah. So, like, we got a couple of noise complaints because we were being rowdy and the classes were going on and they couldn't hear the classes and stuff. Sorry. And then, you know, and then also we had the freak show guy come in and he was loud and, like, that's the show. It's supposed to be loud. So that wasn't the most well-planned part, I guess, but, you know, they did the best with what they had. And the space, like the actual show floor, was a lot of the same vendors that you'll see at Midsummer Scream or wherever, but not nearly as many of them. Yeah. And a couple of things that you wouldn't see. Like, I don't know if, like, Coffin Creek would have a booth at Midsummer Scream. They should, but I don't know if they did. I think that they may have been part of Cal Haunts. Yeah. I mean, I know they were present, but I don't know if they had like an actual space to call their own. But this was a chance for them to have a space to call their own. Like, for me, if you're going to go to Midsummer Scream and you're a haunt, your time is and money is probably better spent rather than doing a booth, doing a mini haunt. Agreed. And then handing out coupons to your full-time haunt. Yeah. Because you're going to get more... The guests are going to get more out of it, and they're going to give a better idea of what you do, as opposed to just having a booth saying, oh, we do a haunted house. Yeah. That's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah. And because they don't have anything that's practical, like, you know, they do makeup application or, you know, sell merchandise or offer something that's industry specific, like a fog machine or something like that, or animatronics. So you're right. That would have been a better place. But they had a cool little, like, photo op set up with a couple of the characters from Coffin Creek. Yeah. And it did really well. So it was a smaller event. It wasn't, you know, hugely attended, but again, it was its first year under the new management. Gary Shireman of Coffin Creek is the owner. Maybe with some others, but I don't really know. And it, you know, it's out in Pomona. It's a little bit far away from, you know, us in, you know, the Orange County area, but, you know, worth the trek. I had fun being with everybody. We were all sick. And, you know, slowly trying to kill each other with overdoses of Dayquil and NyQuil. We're just desperately trying to stay hydrated. And then we figured out that most of us in attendance didn't know how to sell merchandise because we're usually in a show or on the show floor. Like, we didn't know how to operate the iPad to make a sale. It was kind of embarrassing, but we learned and we were able to move some merchandise. I never learned. You were sick too.
I wasn't
and you had to work.
Sick. I was injured.
And you were working.
And I was working, so I came late one of the days.
Yeah.
But I still had plenty of time to do all the VR.
Oh my God, the VR. I think that you should actually take a moment and talk about the VR.
So if you didn't go, this VR thing was awesome. And you could kind of think of it like if you've done the Star Wars thing at Downtown Disney. It's not exactly that, but close. Like, you weren't walking through sets. So the idea of this was you were on a raft in the bayou. And the raft was going through the bayou, like down a river, basically. And you were on the raft and shooting like these alien monsters. And it was a lot of fun.
It was really
But you could actually walk around the raft and like your raft would catch on fire and you have to get a fire extinguisher and put the fire out.
Yeah.
There were like different guns, like you could have a shotgun or a machine gun, or there was like kind of cannons like mounted onto the raft that you could take over and like shoot like grenades at stuff. And it was super fun.
And you had monsters like, like a rain where you needed a ranged attack, and then you had monsters that were crawling into the boat with you, and you had to get those guys. It was really pretty. Like, the whole thing was beautiful.
The graphics were amazing on it, and they did a good job. Like, sometimes they would invade your personal space. Like they'd get like right up to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And I was like, whoa.
VR kind of stuff is cool because you don't, like, I can tell that there was so much that went into it. But to me, all I'm doing is I put on a headset and I got to play a video game in real life.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't, I still don't feel like the end result is worth the amount of work that goes into making it. Mm-hmm. I think maybe in some instances there are like some higher, not higher quality, I don't think that's fair, but like, maybe more expensive games have a little bit more like higher def or
like Star Wars one or something. I mean, it was basically the same system they were using. You had the backpack with the VR thing on it.
Yeah.
The difference was the tracking was better at the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
And there was like 4D effects. Like when you went over the lava, you felt the fire and stuff like that. And this didn't have any of that because it was literally like the raft in real life was just a big carpet rug.
It was a carpeted space that had like gaff tape to mark your boundary.
Yeah.
And that was only for the people on the outside, making sure you didn't walk into other people.
Yeah.
It was just to make sure you stayed in this space. And there's a couple instances where like where your hands weren't actually where your hands were.
Or where your body wasn't where your body was.
Yeah, so you think someone's like here and then you end up turning around and you smack right into them.
Yeah. Yeah, because the tracking was off a little bit. But,
yeah,
that's true. They were in a big room.
And there wasn't anything overhead. Like was there a VR thing at Midsummer? Or was it the other one?
There has been VR stuff, but those are always sitting. Like you sit down.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of
you
one.
Do the experience.
It may have been Scarolay. I don't really remember. But there was like it looked like, the monkey bar, the dome, the geodesic dome frame that had a bunch of sensors on it that tracked you. I think it may have been Scarolay last year where there was like the dark space and we were in the...
So 2 years ago? Was
it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't even remember. Oh yeah, you're right because they changed locations. Yeah, it was where it was like basically like Scarolay's version of the Hall of Shadows. There was like a space that had a VR thing and it had a big old like metal frame around this space. And I saw people doing that kind of thing. I never even went over there.
I didn't.
I just couldn't be bothered. But I think it was a VR thing because there were like things on it and like what I imagined would be trackers. So I think like I'm probably fabricating this memory, but I think that may have been a VR experience. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention, but that kind of build where there's more sensors and they're all around you seems like it'd do better to serve that purpose of making sure that you're where you look like you are in the game. Mm-hmm. But if like the VR thing in Downtown Disney was inside a building and they didn't have to build it and take it down in a couple hours, they were, everything was like hardwired and integrated and like in there. So it makes sense that it would be a little bit better at that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I mean, not to take away from the experience of getting to shoot these weird like mutant zombie things while you're riding through this beautiful bayou. Like, it was a great experience. Yeah. It was a lot of fun, but it, not all VR is created equal, I guess. And that has to do with a lot of things. Yeah. But that was probably the most exciting part of HauntX for me, really. I mean, I love to slide and I love our space and I love that we were able to sneak more runway space. We were only given so much space, but we like moved a boundary and took a little bit more space than we probably should have. And, to get a nice runway to get a distance jump in or something like that. We made it fun for ourselves. But I hope that the event grows and I hope that their space becomes a little bit more conducive to the kind of event they want to do.
Well, I talked to them about the noise bleed issue because when you're in one panel, they have 3 panels going on at once and the only thing between them was a curtain.
A thin curtain, too. Not even like pipe and drape.
And they had speakers in each of them. And so you're trying to sit there and listen to a presentation. And then you got 2 other presentations bleeding into your presentation. And it's just like, so, I did talk to them about that because they were asking me about, everything. And I was like, well, I think the main issue is the sound problem. And so what I suggested is moving them so they're not next to each other. Mm-hmm. Like put one at the back, one at the very front, and maybe one in the middle somewhere. So
which
they're more spread out.
Was kind of the idea originally. Yeah. Like looking at the floor plan, they weren't all together. There was at least one that was separate, but I thought that they were, scattered around the boundary of the whole place. Mm-hmm. I don't think they were supposed to be all mushed together. It could have been you use less of that material when you have a shared wall.
Well, they didn't have shared walls because they had aisles between them because you had to get behind them to get inside.
Did they? I thought there was a space between like 1 and 2, but I didn't think there was a space between 2 and 3.
There might not have been between 2 and 3.
So, I don't know. I mean, not like it would have saved that much in pipe and drape. I don't know. I wasn't at the meeting. But there's definitely room to grow. But, people had fun. We had fun. We certainly made the best of it. Yeah. Gary still has my dress form. I gotta get that.
That's true.
I was trying to find it, and I was like, what the fuck did I do with it? And then I remembered that he took it home. Yeah. Lord knows what he did with it.
It's going to have crazy paint on it or something.
Maybe. It'll be wearing some creepy jester costume or something. Yeah. Yeah. So, HauntX. There's more to do. Yeah. And it'll get done. So, what else you got?
Decayed Brigade's in pre-production.
Yes.
Which is fun.
Of course. It's a year-round gig now, man. I mean, did we ever stop?
We're in pre-production now for our summer shows as opposed to other stuff.
True. Yeah, so we're doing the videos again. So we're doing pre-production on the filming for those. We have music. Basically the music is done. There's a couple parts that have to be either composed or mixed still. And we need to write out the stunts and get everything all hashed out finally for the choreography. But it's all in progress. It's all happening, baby. Yeah. We've got a couple changes in our team as far as makeup artists go. So there will be changes to some characters. We don't know how or who, but it should be fun.
I do.
I know you do.
And truly, though.
I do. Well, I don't know fully, but I know of some evolutions that will happen. Yeah. But that's all that we can give you on that. Is there anything else Decayed Brigade related that's particularly interesting? We don't have a date yet for our little slide with Decayed Brigade. Because we never figured that out. But that'll happen probably, maybe. Mm-hmm. We like to because it just gives us a chance to not have to do any hardcore serious training sliding. We could just fart around with everybody else. Yeah. But now that we've got Queen Mary doing their thing on Thursdays, that is our opportunity to just go and fart around and hang out with our friends and slide and goof around.
Well, not so much anymore. That's very structured now.
It is. Well, it's for the kids who are there to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a class. It's not like, well, just fart around and slide down the runway and learn something possibly from your peers. No, this is like, you're working on this skill today, and we're going to give you drills to perfect that skill. And we're going to give you, exercises to do when you're not sliding to do that skill. I mean, really, like, well thought out classes.
Yeah.
I freaking love that. We need more of that, because then it gets sliders stronger in the right ways, so that you don't have, bless his heart, the Jeff Long syndrome, where your entire body falls apart because you were sliding without taking care of yourself.
Well, to be fair, doing cannonballs off of the rocks in Camp Snoopy, probably not the best idea, even if you're in shape.
It's not, well, yeah. Yes. True. Worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I actually couldn't say that if it was worth it or not, because I'm not the one suffering through the things that he is.
Yeah.
So, if he might tell you, no. But who knows, maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, we're all suffering aches and pains and pushes and pulls and horrible things from our past physical experiences. It's hard to say that they weren't worth it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I take a lot of ibuprofen. Maybe my heart's at risk. I don't know. But you know what? I've done some cool shit. And I had fun. And I'm not done.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's worth it. But that doesn't make it okay to not take care of your body when you know better. And that's why I'm glad this thing exists, is because it teaches kids not just kids, I mean, these are grown-ass people, don't get me wrong, but like, it really gives them the tools to be an athlete.
Yeah.
And that's like, I harp on that constantly when it comes to sliding, is you gotta be, if you want to be good at it, you gotta be an athlete. Not just someone who slides for 1.5 months out of the year.
Yep.
You won't get any good. You gotta do it all the time, well, a lot of the time, and you gotta train.
Yeah.
And you gotta eat right. And they're big on, like, making sure you don't fill yourself with junk food. Like, just real thoughtful athlete type shit. I love it.
Yep.
So, yeah. If you haven't heard of it, I don't know where you've been, but on Thursday nights at the rinks in Garden Grove.
I think it starts at 6?
5 or 6?
5 or 6?
I thought it was 5. Maybe it's changed since the time changed. I don't know. But anyway, look them up. Look up QM Sliders on Instagram, and you'll find the posts for that. But if you haven't been and you like to slide and you're in Southern California and can make it, you should do it. No question.
Yeah, you'll learn a lot.
You will. Way more than just watching YouTube and sliding on, the concrete slab in your backyard. If you have that slab, awesome. You can still practice there, but you got to get training from people who know what they're doing. So I guess that's it as far as like sliding to Key Brigade type stuff.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Yeah. So there's this show that you like.
That I like?
Well, it turns out I like it too. In fact, I love it a lot.
Yeah, so this show kind of popped up out of nowhere. I'd never heard of it. I didn't even realize it was a comic book until after I researched it a little bit. But Netflix purchased Dark Horse Comics like a year ago, maybe longer, because they knew that Marvel was going to be going away.
Yeah.
And so this is, I believe, their first foray into the Dark Horse comic universe. And so they released the show, The Umbrella Academy, which when I first saw that, I'm like, that's a weird name for a show. But it ended up being pretty freaking awesome. But it was a show that you had to give 3 episodes or more. Like the first couple are rough to get through because there's a lot of stuff that you don't understand.
Yeah. Do you think it's the kind of show where if you go back and watch it again, it'll make a little bit more? Well, no, you did that.
I did watch it again.
Because you made me watch it. Mm-hmm. You didn't make me. You recommended that I watch it, and I said, okay.
And I said I wanted to watch it again.
Yeah.
Because there's a time travel aspect to it, and I don't think that's giving anything away. But there's a time travel aspect to it, and so I was like, I wonder if there's things in the earlier episodes that I didn't notice because of that. Because sometimes when they play with time travel, like maybe from episode to episode, like something will change, and you don't really notice it until you go back and watch it.
So did you come across any of those things watching it again?
Not really. Not that at least not that I found.
Not that were blatant or anything.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the series. The way that it ends, I won't, give anything away, but it's kind of like it could end here or it could keep going. Like it was nicely ambiguous in that sense, but also very well buttoned up as far as that season went.
Yeah.
Just put everything kind of in the same place, and it's nice.
I really hope they do a second one.
I do too. I love the aesthetic that they chose. It's like not from any particular time period. It's like kind of modern, kind of future, kind of past. It's just all made up.
Yeah.
And really, kind of abstract, and the ideas that they mushed together, they played. Even though some of it seemed like it was a little antique-y and some of it was futuristic, and, the relationships and everything was just a little off and a little weird, but it all kind of worked.
Yeah.
They made it work. And I think because of the cadence that they chose to tell the story, they never took themselves too seriously,
Mm-hmm.
but they were really good at, making you feel the way they wanted you to feel and making you believe what they wanted you to believe.
Yeah.
Like you were so willing to go along with whatever direction they were pulling you because it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
The costuming was gorgeous.
The stunts were amazing.
The stunts were great.
Which is the main reason why I think I first said
Yeah.
you gotta watch this. Just if you don't even like it, watch it for the stunts.
And there were several times where
great stunts.
It pulled you out of the movie or out of the show only to go, oh my god, that was really cool, because you can kind of picture how it was done, and it was done so well. So it had a lot of stuff going for it that a lot of audiences could enjoy. And I'm not big into comic books. I appreciate them, but I don't know a lot about them.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have known that this was comic book, but I kind of could have put it together that it's a very comic booky type, where it is able to pull all those different elements together that don't necessarily belong. You can make them fit by the narrative that they're playing through, and that kind of had that feeling.
Yeah.
So it parts of it were really weird, and I don't really understand that. I mean, I would have to go back and watch again, but each individual character is so unique and wonderful in their own way, and you really do relate to every one of them in their own way.
Yeah,
they're all a little bit part of you.
You are that person, or you know somebody who's that person, or you have a family member that's person, and so it's everybody's very relatable.
Yeah, they really are. I like that there's parts that make you laugh for different reasons, and it depends on who that character is in the world that you were just describing. Is that part of you, or is that part of somebody you know? Is that part of a friend? Is that part of who you used to be?
Yeah.
You relate to it in these different ways. But I thought it was a lot of fun, and it was beautiful to look at. It was really interesting, a really interesting concept that I had never really, considered as a story.
Yeah.
That could be even told. But they walked that line between absurd and plausible, pretty nicely.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and if you haven't seen it, I think that you should dedicate some time and do it.
Yeah, just give it 3 or 4 episodes. Because I watched the first episode and I was like, I don't know if I can keep going. I'm not sure. It's not that the episode's bad. It's just I wasn't sure if it was gonna be something that was gonna interest me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a huge comic book person either. And so I was like, I don't know, this is really weird. And then the second episode was like, all right, I'll give one more. By the third episode, I was hooked.
Yeah. You had to see a little bit more depth in the kids, I think.
Yeah.
To really see how they interact with each other. Because they go from... And there's a lot that they don't explain.
Yes.
And I think that maybe that is where there is room in season 2, is to probably go back and explain how they came to be in the first place, and what gave them the things that make them so unique and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
Who the foster dad really is,
yeah,
all that stuff is
so much to talk about. Yeah, so they left a lot of paths available to explore, and I hope that they get into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
like
definitely recommend that. Definitely recommend, is it Death, Love, and Robots, or
Love, Death, and Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots, also on Netflix. It's a bunch of animated shorts ranging from like 10 to 20 minutes long each. You watched a couple of them?
I did. I just gotten home from work, so I wasn't like in the mood for anything super heavy.
Yeah.
So I watched the more lighthearted shorts.
Yeah. So luckily I could tell her which ones because I just blew through them all because they're so short. You can like blow through them pretty fast.
Yeah, but I walked into like this bloody massacre and like I was like, what the fuck are you watching? I thought it was a video game because I didn't understand what you were watching.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. I just drove for 40 minutes in traffic. Like my brain hurts.
Yeah.
I couldn't even.
But there's some really good ones. So if you want a good taste, like the 3 you watched were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like The Day the Yogurt Took Over, 3 Robots, and what was the other one I had you watch?
I don't know. I don't remember. What was the one that you the yogurt one, and then the 3 Robots, and then what was the other one?
I can't remember.
Well,
There's one that you didn't watch, which is where this couple finds a lost civilization in their freezer, which is awesome. It's more of it's just an interesting thing. Overall, there's not really a huge story around it. It's just like a bunch of interesting things that happen. So that one's fun, but there's not like a huge story in it. If you want some more hardcore stuff, Sony's, I can't remember what, Sony's something, which is about, like, when I first saw it, this is like the trailer that I saw was for this episode. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, it sounds interesting. But it's like these people, they can avatar into these monsters and they fight. So it's like a fight club, but with monsters.
Okay.
But it takes an amazing turn. And I was like kind of completely blown away. And that's the one I was telling you about. So the idea
I just remembered the other one.
What's the other one?
It was the app where you can change the course of history.
Oh, yeah. So
with
it's
the Hitler.
It's I can't something history. I can't remember.
Historia.
I don't remember.
Something. Okay.
But it's basically, the description is something about seeing a bunch of ways that Hitler dies.
Hystopia?
No, I don't remember.
I don't know.
Anyway, but this the Sony one is like David Fincher, who directed Fight Club and directed a bunch of stuff. He wrote and had other people bring in stuff to do this project. And so one of the exercises was, this one was, how can you get somebody, like a viewer, emotionally attached to a character and have an emotional connection with them in like 15 minutes. And so it's all about the story. And so there's these things that are layered into this fight that by the end you're like totally attached to this girl. And you're just like, oh my God, that's like freaking awesome. And so you're like rooting her for her by the end of the episode. And the end just is like a crazy turn that you don't even see coming. And it's like, how do they fit all of that? Like, you feel like it should have been a 2-hour movie, but they fit all of it into like a 15-minute little nugget.
That's a great exercise in storytelling.
Yeah, like it was just cut out all the meat, and this is what you get. Like, this is it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know that I want to see those when I'm in a better state to really appreciate them.
Yeah.
I know that like Friday afternoon after a long day at work is not when I needed to do that. But I do want to go back and watch everything because I know that there's so much stuff.
I want to give you a spoiler for one because it's the one that made me cringe.
Oh, I don't want it. You don't want it? No.
Oh my God.
Ha! No.
Okay. I'm just going to say that there's the one with about a female astronaut that there was a part, and even though it's animated, it still completely like made me cringe. And there's not much that can do that. Like, I've watched some gory stuff.
Does whatever suit she have on lose pressure?
No, not necessarily that.
Is it like that though? Like space and Event Horizon Splody Brains?
No, there's no splody brains.
Okay.
But it's intense.
Ugh. I don't know.
It's an intense one. So that one, if you want like a really crazy, intense experience, that's a good one. There's one. Then they have some really big name people. So if like you love voice actors,
Yes,
some amazing voice actors do some of the voices in this show.
I do.
There's a Dracula one, which is really good and has a really awesome scene when the grad student gets killed. Like freaking awesome. One of the best. Like if they put that in any movie, it'd be like death scene of the year.
Wow.
But since it's animated, it's a little cooler because they can do some fun stuff with the animation.
Yeah. The one that I walked in on was like really, really gory.
It was. So there's one it's done by a Russian director, and it's about this elite force in the Russian military that is hunting down I guess during World War II, like the backstory of this is during, which you only read in the not the credits, but the description.
Yeah.
They were doing genetics experiments, Russia was, and so they accidentally created this monster thing. No, it was an occult thing. So they do like this occult ceremony, and they raise this demon and like all his minions, and so this elite force, like this, special ops team, is in Siberia hunting down these demons, and they find its nest, and it gets crazy.
But the demons are like dismembering bodies and like completely decimating villages and things.
If I didn't say, this is like R to NC-17 rated animation. Like it's hardcore animation. There's nudity and sex scenes and all that stuff. So don't let your kids watch it.
No, it's not that kind of cartoon.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say any of them are cartoons. I'd say they're
maybe
animated
the three
shorts.
robots, but that one still has some.
I'd still consider it an animated short. I don't think that it's a cartoon at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And kind of out of the blue, like that's a really artsy, educational, insightful thing to make.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's art. That's not just like, thank you for calling Netflix, you're greenlit, how can I help you? This is like legit fucking art.
Well, every single one was a study in something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just we're going to do a bunch of animated shorts. They all are a study in filmmaking. Mm-hmm. And so you can really, when you do it, like the Sony one was all about story and how do we fit a story into a small segment.
Yeah.
And then some of them were about visuals, like the Russian one, as gory as it was, hyper realistic.
Yes.
Like very realistic animation, which is amazing.
Mocap up the ass.
And then there was stuff like
what would you say the three robots was?
I don't know. That was kind of comedy.
It was funny. I'm not a film student, so I don't even know where to think.
Yeah,
like,
but every single one is in a different style of animation.
Yes.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
So you're not
different concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have like everything from that high concept, animation that looks like it could be, CGI in a movie, to like Saturday morning cartoons.
And then like humanoid versus human mimicking, like is it made to look like a human or is it made to look like a caricature of a human?
Yeah.
Like what would be the difference? It'd be like Jimmy Neutron versus F is for Family.
Yeah.
Like there's a caricature of a human and then there's a human with human-like proportions and things like that.
Yes.
Just a different way to portray.
Yeah. And then there's like an anime kind of one, and there's just like all kinds of different animation.
Lots of different styles.
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything else that you would like to chat about?
I think that's it.
Neat.
Yeah.
Well,
do you have anything to plug?
No. Stay tuned for more Decade Brigade news. Stay tuned for more Midsummer Scream news. We don't know anything about Scarlet because no one has seen anything anywhere or heard anything from anybody. So as soon as we find out, you will also. That's it. As far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, well, let's get out of here.
All right. You want to blast out our social medias and such?
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Tales from the Fog. You can follow Decade Brigade at Decade Brigade Official on all the things. You can follow Veronica at...
Veronica Voices on Twitter and Instagram.
You're on Twitter?
Yeah, kind of. I have a name.
You have a name?
That's it. I don't do
All
a
right.
lot with it. I share to it from Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Mostly.
So if you only have Twitter, you can see your Instagram stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, but you gotta
There you
click
go.
the link. Like, it won't even... If I post a picture on Instagram, it won't post the picture on Twitter.
Oh.
It'll post a link
That's
to the
weird.
Instagram page. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have a Twitter.
All right.
Anyway.
Anyway, until next time, guys.